Here, before Tree got here, I was the only girl, besides Chris Andrews. He's been called Rosie O'Donnell more times than I've had dates. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming out in this horrible storm. Everybody, give yourself a round of applause for coming out in the tornado. For real, I was driving through a tornado, or not through it, but I was driving during the tornado warning to get here, and I had to call up my son and tell him to get in the basement, and then I was going to drive anyway, and for him to do as I say, not as I do. So, but as I said, my name's Suzanne Roussin. Joe mispronounced it. He does that on purpose to get me. But if you recognize me, it's probably because you recognize me from my day job. I'm a stripper for a nationally known radio program. It was better than my previous job. I was a model for Before Pictures. I didn't pay that well. I was broke all the time. Who else is here is broke? I am totally broke. Who's broke here? Broke? Oh my God. I went into a bar the other day, and it was a cash-only bar, and they're like, well, there's an ATM right there. I'm like, I don't have enough money in my account to get any money out of my account. The ATM will not let me. I had to unroll my cocaine dollar just to buy a beer. It was terrible. So, and I think it's hilarious that there's so many like broke people that are in a bar because you get the last $5 in your pocket. Should I put that towards the electric bill? Or should I get 2.5 PBRs? And you choose the PBRs, right? It's my people. I say PBR just because I don't think they have stag here. Otherwise, I drink a lot of stag because they're like usually $1 somewhere. So, as I said, stripper for a radio show because I have abandonment issues. My mom left 4 months before I was born. My dad was never the same. The entire first year, he mistook me for a Cabbage Patch Kid, and I took care of the Cabbage Patch doll instead. So by the time I was a teenager, I was really rebellious, and I was really attention-seeking. And so I snuck into a tattoo parlor when I was 13, and I got a tattoo of Xavier on my ass to see if my dad would pay attention to me some more. See, that worked. That worked. That didn't work at phone the other night, but that worked. Some people get it. Okay. That was the Xavier joke. That was for the older crowd, for the old people that are competing against us. I asked Mike when I got here. I guess he's not here anymore, but I asked Mike when I got here. I was like, so is this like old as in like age? Young versus old age-wise, or is young versus old like experience-wise for stand-up? And he's like, well, it's age. So we have like the people from the Madonna Like a Virgin era, and we have the competitors from the Madonna Like a Prayer era. And then we have the competitors from the Madonna Like a Young, Beautiful, Hot Woman era. And I'm from the Like a Prayer. I'm kind of British. I want to be British. I think I'm still hot era. So thank God Tree's here. Another pair of boobs. It's awesome. So. We have the tornado here. You have to. Speaking of old comics, I took my lead from the Janine Garofalo School of Stand-Up Comedy, so I have my notebook up here, so you'll have to excuse me. But so as I said, since I have so many issues, I'm single. I keep staying single just because I don't have time. I want to focus more on my career, and I don't have time to sit there and spend all of my day pining away after a guy and wondering if he's thinking about me as much as I'm thinking about him, and why didn't he invite me to that bar that he said that he was going to when he posted on Facebook, and why doesn't he post anything about me on Facebook, and who's that baby he's holding in his profile picture on Facebook, and who's that pretty bitch leaving little messages on his Facebook wall like, I love you and don't forget the milk, and why did she tell him to block me on Facebook? I will show that bitch what a stalker really means! And that's why I'm single. So, but besides that, as I said, since I'm single, I'm very jaded. And so for Valentine's Day, I sat there and just listened to that song Jar Parts on a loop for 24 hours, that piano song. And by the time I was finished listening to that, I wanted to break up with myself. I had February, okay, Valentine's Day is in February, right? So February is a succession of holidays. It has, first it starts at Black Awareness Month, right? and then it's got Valentine's Day, and then I do celebrate the holiday after Valentine's Day, the one that guys like, the one that Dan Schmidt really likes, and he gets drunk and just has a great time every year. The one right after that, where girls are crazy and like guys get drunk and everything. It's the give your man a home cooked meal, a blowjob, and shut the fuck up for 24 hours holiday. I celebrate that one. But since I'm single, the men like rotate in and out. It's really cool actually, because I can keep a rotating dinner guest list. It's cool. But I had it starts out Black Awareness Month, February does, and then it ends up Too Drunk to Be Aware of Anything Month because of Mardi Gras. And I got so drunk, I fell asleep giving the guy that I was with that night a blowjob. I wake up, a completely, entirely different person's cock in my mouth. So I figure, well, if I got beads just from flashing my boobs, what am I going to get if I just keep on? So I just kept on going. I finished that blowjob. It was great. I ended up celebrating Mardi Gras and Black Awareness Month at the same time. It was tough. I went into, after Mardi Gras, I don't know if do you guys come here, a lot of people come to Lemmons a lot? Do you guys, or are you just out here for the stand-up comedy? Any Lemmons regulars? Some, a couple, yes I do, bartender, yes! I'm here all the time. So, and don't forget to tip him, by the way. So we have, Brian, one of the guys that works here, he's a booker, and he does, he's not here right now because he's in band. And but we all ended up going after Mardi Gras to like the 7 a.m. bar. We stayed at all night partying, 7 a.m. bar, and down to the trophy room, which South City people know where I'm talking about. So we have I went down there and I had all these beads from Mardi Gras, all these beads, whole bunch of beads. And I walk in, and of course, like all these drunk guys are sitting there. I'm the only female that decided to party all night and be out at 7 o'clock in the morning with all these beads on. And the guys just like look at me and follow me as I come in, and I go down to the bathroom, and I walk past the bar, and some weird South City guy goes, "This is some pretty beads you got there, girl." I'm like, okay. So I go in the bathroom so I can think about this, so I can be very clever. And I come back out, and I'm like, and they said again, "Wow, those are great beads, girl." So I'm like, yeah, well, it was 1 strand per blowjob. And all the guys, their heads all went, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's 1 strand per blowjob. So the guy comes up to me, and he's like, well, here, can I give you a strand of beads? I'm like, sure. But I want that one. I want the big one that you paid $5 for that nobody really gave you. You just want to act like they gave it to you, the one with the big masks on it. And he's okay, give me that one. And I'm like, and he goes, okay, you ready? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Did you think I was going to give you? No. Guys give me beads so they can go down on me. Thank you very much. And then it's actually a true story. And he wasn't bad. It was worth the beads. Thank you very much. My name is Suzanne Roussin. I'm giving it up for Joe.